What's going on, guys? ShadowNinja here, and today let's talk about one of the most build-centric weapons you can have when it comes to survivability, the no hesitation auto rifle. This is a new support frame auto rifle. There are tons of things to say about this, but before we jump into it, if you guys enjoy the content and enjoy the video and want more from me, please consider hitting that subscribe button and bell to be notified for when I do drop more content. But as it stands right now, this support frame is a brand new archetype in Destiny, and it's a one-of-a-kind weapon. So to be specific, support frames, flexible and agile frame capable of healing allies and hurting foes, harming targets, builds a restorative charge. This charge will be seen in the reticle. It's like a glaive charge, so it's very easy and hard to miss. Hip firing at allies while this weapon is charged heals them with rapidly healing, increasing weapon damage, and bestowing restoration to your allies. So again, this is a support frame, and the basic intrinsic perk is basically giving your allies restoration. Now, right off the bat, I'm gonna say this weapon is perfectly fine at shooting at enemies, but with the way the PvE sandbox is built, when it comes to special ammo weapons just being the greatest thing possible, whether it's a rocket sidearm or some of your trace rifles or even a fusion, just grenade launcher, there are so many great options, special ammo, and the special ammo economy in PvE is very easy to generate more ammo. So making legendary primary sometimes isn't going to be, I guess you could say, easy, judging the fact that the sandbox is on the side of special ammo. So when it comes to shooting this weapon at enemies, I'm not saying don't do it. You'll see me do it. It's fine. But the main buff of this auto rifle is the fact that it can give you restoration ×2 if you guys have a specific perk. And this restoration ×2 is not only for your allies, but also for yourself. That in itself is incredibly powerful. Another important fact about the, I guess you could say, gauge of restoration in order to apply restoration to your enemies, dealing damage and kills with other weapons. So let's say you're rocking no hesitation, you have the call. Using the call to kill things and then switching over to your no hesitation does generate the restoration charge. So you do not need to shoot things with this weapon in order to charge up that restoration meter. That is powerful. That means that this weapon truly is, when it comes to giving out restoration ×2, a PvE player's best friend if restoration survivability is on their mind, whether it's doing legend content, whether it's doing masters or grandmasters. This is entirely in the realm of something one player should have if really they want to maximize efficiency of getting restoration ×2. Is it going to be the end all be all must have, restoration? Everyone needs to rock this multiple different times? No, but one person on the fire team having it in challenging content is incredible. If your teammates are having a hard time surviving, well, put on this weapon, give them some little love taps, and restoration ×2 is going to, for the most part, keep them alive. It's not perfect. Enemies can still absolutely devastate you beyond belief in one hit, but that ability to dish out restoration ×2 with a specific perk is incredible. But I think I've said enough on the power of this weapon when it comes to giving out restoration ×2. Let's talk about all the perks so you guys get a good understanding of what is here, what can roll, and also what you're going to want to craft in order to gain restoration ×2. So here on screen are all the perks. We'll be labeling it so you guys can follow. First up, all the way to the right, we have the origin trait. I've talked about this multiple times. Dealer's choice. Final blows with this weapon grant a small amount of super energy. Equipping multiple weapons from the Pale Heart increases its effect. Now, again, we're talking about we don't really want to kill things with this weapon. We want to, show some love to our teammates. So what's so good here is that if you're using a weapon like the call, annotation on screen on the God roll for that weapon, if you guys have no idea what to go for or craft, using that has dealer's choice as well. So you're rocking a double stack of these weapons, which will increase your super regeneration rate in a slight way. I don't think it's nothing too bizarre where it's like, man, I'm getting my super back every 2 minutes. Nothing like that, but it is noticeable that it is helping with the regen rate, which is always incredible in PvE when it comes to super regeneration and dishing out supers. It's fun. Having the call and then having this with dealer's choice, 2 stacks right there, is a great combination. Now, if we go back to all the perks and we go to column 4, we have Incandescent, Attrition Orbs, Frenzy, Disruption Break, Circle of Life, a brand new perk, Desperate Measures, and Surrounded. Over in column 3, we have Psychic. This is, spoiler alert, the perk you need for restoration ×2. Underneath that, we have Subsistence, Assemble, Grave Robber, Demolitionist, Overflow, and Strategist. Over for column 2 in magazine, we have Steady Rounds, Alloy Magazine, Appendamag, flared magwell, extended mag, tactile mag, and accurized rounds. And guys, when it comes to barrels in this case, I don't really think there is the right choice for an archetype like this because a lot of what you're doing is shooting from the hip. So whatever really stat buff you really want, be my guest. Something in handling will always be great, so arrowhead break in this case will definitely be a continued my choice. But if you guys want even more range for whatever reason, be my guest. I just go for handling based on the fact that I'm always shooting from the hip and I want to get this out as quick as possible. And then again, like I said, as usual, this is a new support frame, so healing is going to be your best friend. So when it comes to the God Roll, I will give you guys two because I do think it is fair. The first one is my personal preference. We're using Arrowhead Break, Tactile Mag, Psychic, and Circle of Life with a reload speed masterwork. Now, for whatever reason, if you want a little bit more oomph to that weapon itself when it comes to kills, switch off of Circle of Life and pick Incandescent. Now, Circle of Life does pair well with Psychic, but I don't really notice a substantial difference with my eye of keeping this perk on. If you just want a little bit more of that primary power buff of this weapon of, you know, killing enemies, Incandescent will definitely be better. Or if you guys want a more consistent damage buff, something like Frenzy will be incredible as well. Again, I won't really recommend Frenzy, but that is just an option you won't see here on screen. That is another good choice if you want that damage buff even further than what Circle of Life probably gives you. But yeah, Reload Speed Masterwork is probably the only one that I'm like, yeah. Psychic is a must-have for Restoration ×2, and Circle of Life or Incandescent, your personal preference there. I personally use Circle of Life. I mess around with Incandescent a little bit. It is fun. It does work. It is great. Tactile Mag and Arrowhead Break are just my personal preferences. Tactile Mag helps with the reload speed, and it does give you a little bit more in the mag. Nothing too crazy there, but if you guys want to opt for something else, like maybe like a flared magwell, I'm not against. The reload speed plus 15 could be something for you guys. But for the most part, I'm going to stick with Tactile Mag. But altogether, that is the God Rolls or God Roll, whatever you want to call it. Overall, this weapon is, again, want to reiterate, not something you want to shoot at enemies all the time with. Not saying it's awful at doing it, but the main buff of this weapon is the fact that it can dish out Restoration ×2 with the Psychic perk active, and this gives your allies and yourself Restoration ×2. So do keep that in mind depending on what build you're using. If you guys are rocking solar and you guys got the restoration buff plus, you know, stacking with kills, that's another great thing that is a thing. This is definitely something that you guys can really build around, whether it's prismatic, whether it's solar. This is a great support weapon for all levels of content, so definitely keep that in mind when it comes to your hunt for this weapon if you guys have yet to craft it. I crafted it, very thankful of it. Didn't say it already, but getting this weapon is through the Pale Heart. Focusing engrams, Pale Heart engrams at the Ghost vendor is a great way of getting a crafting version. If you're doing the Sis, you can get potential crafts there. Or if you're just doing the overthrow activities, another way potentially get red borders. But altogether, it shouldn't be too hard, especially if you're getting a lot of those Pale Heart engrams, just focusing this weapon alone. But yeah, this is one of the best weapons in the arsenal. If it wasn't for the call, I would say that this is the best weapon. But with that being said, that's pretty much all I gotta say on this one. Hope you guys have a good one. If you guys enjoyed, definitely drop this video a like, helps out the video a lot. If you guys want to comment down below your God Roll and what your thoughts on this weapon is, definitely drop a comment down below. We can have a conversation about it. And as usual, for more content from me, definitely hit that subscribe button and bell to be notified when I do drop more content. But until then, hope you guys have a good one. ShadowNinja here, and I'm out.